Hi, everybody. I'll start by introducing myself again. My name is Eseza Nambassi. I'm a medical doctor by training. And as I like to say, by passion, I'm a very excited neo-life distributor. I'm married to Eddie, and I'm the mother of 3 adult children and a granny to 2 little girls, adorable girls. And I have to tell you that when I found this opportunity, I was actually looking for it. So it came at the right time. And why do I say that? My kids were small. I had 2 children at the time, and they were manifesting all these childhood things, you know, rashes, hay fever. They would wake up in the morning grouchy and sneezing. And in my profession, I could have easily got them onto all sorts of medications to sort that out. But I decided not to. I decided to start looking for a real solution. And you'll understand as I go along. I've always been keen to read labels and to know what is in things, and to keep asking the question, why is this happening? And that's what led me to start looking for this opportunity. I graduated from medical school in the mid-80s. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And I'll start it from the beginning. Okay. Right, I graduated in the mid-80s. And I started asking myself these questions, and this is a question I'm asking all of you. Have you ever wondered at the rise in various diseases, such as thyroid diseases, anxiety and depression and mood disorders, digestive disorders, childhood obesity, attention deficit and hyperactivity, and autism spectrum? Have you wondered at the rise in that? Well, I've been wondering over the past over 30 years that I've been practicing as a doctor. And now the question is, we are actually wondering, because there are more medications to manage more diseases, and yet people are not getting better. So that's what got me thinking. And as I continued to think about it, this came up. And what is that? We are right now in the pandemic, a worldwide pandemic. And this article came up last month in August, but as early as at the beginning of the pandemic, I'd already warned a few of my friends that you guys, if you're using toxic chemicals inside the home, you might actually be helping the virus to be propagated, you know, to be transported around. So this article came out in August, and it's asking, is it possible that our immune systems are being hacked by the toxic chemicals in our homes? And do these toxic chemicals increase the complications of COVID? And the answer to that seems to be, yes, it's quite possible. Scientists agree that long-term exposure to air pollution increases the risk of diabetes, hypertension, asthma, and coronary artery disease, 4 of the biggest underlying health risks associated with COVID-19. All right, but there are hazardous chemicals right inside our homes today, the very place that we've been told to shelter since the start of the global pandemic. And that might be affecting our immune system's defense against COVID. And so when I saw this, I just said, wow, yeah. So I've been vindicated. So what are we dealing with? There is very, very clearly a huge elephant in the room. That's a saying that means we seem to be missing the obvious, the very obvious. So there's this elephant in the room. Now, when I saw this opportunity, I was thrilled because the first thing I did was to throw out everything I had ever bought from the supermarkets. I literally put everything in a box and saw what I could replace those things with, which whittled down to just a very short list, and everything else left. Even my husband's car shampoo had to leave because I saw that in this opportunity, I could get a car shampoo that turned out to be even more economical and much better quality. So this is what is being offered to all our guests, to learn a different way of buying and choosing better products. So as an example, did you know that by converting to Super 10, by the way, that name is very significant. Super 10 to me stands for it does more than 10 cleaning jobs. And that's why I love it so much. And it is so economical that 1 liter will give you 22 cleaning bottles. You don't have to keep buying a new bottle each time because it is recyclable. As a result, with this single product, we have prevented over 700 million bottles filling up the landfills and destroying the environment. The other product that I love is LDC. I love them all, but I keep on saying I love this one, and I have a little story that I'll tell about LDC at the end of the slideshow. But LDC, I use it for virtually everything that I used to use soap on in the past. You can wash your hands, you can wash yourself, you can wash your pets, you can wash your fruits and vegetables. You can, if you wish, wash brush your teeth if you wish. The men can shave with it. It's an amazing product. Also, a concentrate, it will save you a lot of money. You don't have to make it so concentrated if you want. You can dilute it to your liking. An amazing product. Then we have G1. It's another product that, you know, I would have to have been brain dead not to ever use this product. And I love this one very much because it is so versatile. A 2 kilo packet in my home lasts anywhere between 5 and 6 months. But apart from doing my laundry, it also does my dishes in the dishwasher. Now, why is that important? Okay, all our products are biodegradable, which means when they're out there in the environment, they do not kill the bacteria. Instead, the bacteria breaks them down. And why is that important? Well, that's how come we've arrived at this stage where we are wondering what to do with ourselves. Because if products are going out into the environment and breaking down bacteria, conceivably, they are also breaking down the bacteria inside you. It's called your microbiome, your gut microbiome. And that can lead to all sorts of health issues. So here comes my story on G1. One day, I was doing a presentation in Durban, and as would happen, a lot of people, because of not really getting full information, had this particular lady had decided that no, all she wanted to do was to use nutrition supplements. She was not going to touch those cleaning products because the price was a bit different from what she was used to. Nobody had ever told her that they're actually concentrates and all you need to do is use very little and you can dilute them. Anyway, so as I was talking, I said, picture this, we live in Durban. And if you wash your clothes in those other compounds out there and you walk around on a warm summer day, the residues in from those compounds that are left in your clothes will be reabsorbed into your bloodstream. And then you come home, you shower if you want, or bath, and then slip into those bed sheets. So those residues have all night to get into your bloodstream. And then they'll get in there and mess up your hormones, all the hormones. And particularly the stress hormones as well get pretty messed up. So as I was presenting, I said to the audience, so if you know what is good for you, stop messing up your hormones. Just change to G1 and you'll see what will happen. Now, I didn't know that the lady was listening and her children were saying to her, Mom, we're not leaving this place without that laundry powder. Okay, so off they went. About a month later, she came to the warehouse and heard me speak to somebody else. And then she came back to me and said, Doctor, I need to thank you. And I thought to myself, thank me for what? And she said, do you remember that time that you did a presentation? Well, I bought the G1 and a totally amazing thing happened. My husband used to come home very grouchy and grumpy and almost aggressive and would take it out on the kids. But ever since I stopped using that other laundry compound from the shop, all that has stopped and he's now a calm person. And I thought to myself, wow. Anyway, another maybe 3 weeks passed by and the gentleman who had been described as aggressive to his family actually arrived with his wife, all smiles. And I happened to be there again. And so he greeted me very cordially. And, you know, that was literally a family brought together simply because the mom of the household chose to use a different washing powder. That is the power of our products that we are talking about now. So we have amazing products. As you all know, Care is a very good disinfectant, which we've used during this pandemic in conjunction with LDC to wash hands. And they're very effective against viruses and bacteria and other bugs. So this is all we are offering, the opportunity to change your buying habits. And really that's all there is to it, but you will also save a lot of money and you can also make some money as well. So now I'm going to actually stop sharing and tell you my third story. Like a good granny, I like to tell stories. That's how I learn. Right, this is a jar of water. And what it signifies is a story I have from about 5 years ago. I was seeing a patient, and as we are taught both at medical school, but also in neo-life, learn to ask the right questions and that way you'll get the right answers. So this gentleman came in and he had complaints of pain in the legs and he felt numbness and pins and needles. And then I asked him, what work do you do? And he said that he works at the harbor, unloading particularly certain merchandise from ships, but it was foodstuffs. So I said to myself, oh, okay, tell me something, sir. Do you have exposure to chemicals? And he looked at me and said, Doc, if you know what is good for you, you would never eat rice again. Now, I'm talking to you all. I live in Durban where we love our biryani. But from that day, over 5 years ago, I started washing my rice with LDC. And this water is very milky. And I've left it to stand like this for over a week now. It's about a week. And the sediment at the bottom, you can see at the bottom of that, but the water remains an emulsion. It means it has suspended what I could feel of the rice, something slimy and almost oily. Well, what happens is that foodstuffs, particularly grain, has to be sprayed quite a lot with all sorts of things. And there is one particular chemical that should cause all of us to be concerned, and that is called glyphosate. Glyphosate is a chemical that is nasty, and it can actually wreak havoc with your gut microbiome, with all our normal bacteria that is supposed to live in the gut. So I've been washing my rice for, it isn't just myself and my dishes and my vegetables, but I also wash my rice to get all that stuff off. Now, the emulsion signifies that this is now suspended in absorbed by the fat. And that is exactly how the body behaves, because if there is a lot of toxins, your fatty tissue inside of yourself will soak up all that toxin. Now, this is a weight management tip to all of you. If you've been battling to lose weight, you might do well to start by changing your cleaning products around the house. And I think that is my third story. And I just want to say that I'm extremely happy with these products. And in all the years that we've been in the business, I have never gone back to the shops to even think about buying those other products out there. And that is my story. It's a mixture of medical and pure pleasure. Thank you very much.